The film is motivated by the Transformer toys that curve and overlap and two-fold in upon themselves, similar to a Rubik's Cube crossed with an acrobat. A yellow Camaro unfurls into a huge robot, helicopters become strolling demise beasts, and an adversary named Megatron thunders onto the screen and, in a voice that takes after the audio cues in Tremor, presents himself, "I am Megatron." I believe that is whenever I've first utilized 3 interjection focuses. Yet, Megatron is a 3 interjection point somewhat robot. He is the most incredibly fearsome fighter of the detestable Decepticons, adversaries of the kind-hearted Transformers. The 2 races, or perhaps their brands, of robots escaped the destined planet Cybertron and have been attracted to Earth on the grounds that Megatron crash arrived close to the North Pole a century prior and has the Allspark, which is the way to something, I don't know what, but rather since it's fundamentally an outsider MacGuffin it doesn't a lot matter. Note to fanboys going to send me an email clarifying the Allspark. The film opens like one of those adolescent comedies where the amiable legend is singled out by menaces at school, halfway on the grounds that he didn't make the football crew, and for the most part since he doesn't have a sharp vehicle. Sam Witwicky, Shia LaBeouf convinces his father to get him one, and he winds up with an old blender, a yellow Camaro that is really the Transformer named Bumblebee and gets so frantic when his paint work is offended that it changes itself into a sparkling new Camaro. This is in excess of a hot vehicle. It plays the soundtrack to Sam's life. It assists Sam with becoming noticeable to his attractive colleague Michaela, Megan Fox, who says, "Do I know you?" Sam specifies nonchalantly that they take 4 classes together and have been in a similar school since 1st grade. The secondary school stuff, which could be a teen parody all alone, segues into the engaging robot stuff, and there is some serene political parody where the Secretary of Guard, John Voight, runs the country, while the president, not attributed, restricts himself to a solicitation for a ding-dong. Voight sends the outfitted administrations right into it, and we see a great deal of Sergeant Lennox Josh Duhamel, and Tech Sergeant Epps Tyrese Gibson. They and their men work during a significant part of the film under the hopeful impression that a metal robot the size of a 10-story building can be crushed by, or even brought to see, programmed weapons shoot. Sam and Bumblebee are pivotal to the battle, albeit a mysterious operations fellow, John Turturro, asks the Safeguard Secretary, "You going to lay the destiny of the world on a child's Camaro?" Everything boils down to an epic fight between the Transformers and the Decepticons, and that is the point at which my consideration started to meander, and the film lost a likely 4th star. First let me say that the robots, made by Industrial Light and Magic, are without a doubt wonderful animals. You can look close and see the truck windshields, hubcaps and junkyard stuff they're made of. What's more, their developments are shrewd, particularly a scorpion-like robot in the desert. Little insect robots owe something to the comparative animals in Spielberg's Minority Report, and we note he is a maker of this film. How would a pickup be able to truck contain sufficient mass to unfurl into a transcending machine? I say assuming Ringling Brothers can get 15 comedians into a Volkswagen, the sky is the limit. No different either way, the mechanical fight continues endlessly without any end in sight, with robots slamming against one another and colliding with structures, and structures falling into the road, and the tactical terminating, and planes clearing upward, and Megatron and the Great Saint, Optimus Prime, duking it out, and the soundtrack sawing away at exciting music, and that's it. Since CGI makes such unlimited arrangements conceivable doesn't make them fundamental. They ought to be arranged to mirror a system and not just reflect indistinguishable, irregular savagery. Here the robots resemble TV grapplers who are down however normally not out. I saw the film on the biggest screen in our closest multiplex. It was standing room just, and hundreds were dismissed. Indeed, even the name of Hasbro, creator of the Transformers toys, was cheered during the titles, and the crowd chuckled and extolled and adored every one of the human parts and the initial parody. Be that as it may, when the skirmish of the Titans started, something inquisitive occurred. The theater fell dead quiet. No cheers. No response whether Optimus Prime or Megatron was on top. No nothing. I glanced around and saw just aloof faces checking out the screen. My estimate is we're reaching the place where CGI ought to be utilized as a fixing and not the entire pizza. The film runs 144 minutes. You could get it at 2 hours by cutting CGI shots, and have a superior film.